I'm a longtime Democrat, born and raised. But when you listen to both these parties talk, I have made up my mind. I am definitely going to go for, Donald Trump.
I come from a long line of Democrats, but I have to say I switched parties.
I used to be a Democrat. I am now Republican, voting Republican all the way.
Not longer a Democrat. They're communists. They're socialists.
Candidly, I was a Hillary voter. And so for me, I bought into a lot of stereotypes about him.
I'm a lifelong Democrat. I'm from Lorain, Ohio. I am definitely changing my vote to Republican.
I've been a registered Democrat for many years, and this is done.
I'm a Democrat. I'm from Minnesota, where all these riots and looting and the burning started. I mean, not a mention about us last week.
I want America to stay a place that is free, that is pro-business.
But do you still consider yourself a Democrat?
I will be changing that.
Hello.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Wayne Free Show. Wayne is not here right now. We will be channeling him and using his mojo to get through the day.
He's actually up in the sky right now.
Right. So thank you so much, Wayne, for the trust and the ability for us to make this happen. But thanks to RT, I want to give a huge shout out to RT. It's like an unsung hero for us. Who would have thought that Russia Today would be a proponent of free speech more so than any outlet in America? So I want to give a huge shout out to RT. For those of you on the Facebooks, the YouTubes, the Twitters, the Parlors.
Make sure you're sharing.
Yeah,
very important that you share, especially this close to election, because Facebook even came out and admitted, hey, we're going to try to really suppress any kind of political talk on our platform. So the best thing we can do is share. That's our only fight we have right now when it comes to these social media platforms. Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Jump over to patreon.com/WD show to be a part of this movement. The media has become the enemy of the people with 100%. There's no question about it. It is beyond propaganda. It is collusion with the Democrat Party, collusion with the deep state, if you will, the unelected officials that are part of our government that Donald Trump has not been able to. And I'll be as optimistic as possible, but I really didn't think it was going to be possible to drain the swamp. However, I didn't realize how deep the swamp had really actually become. But with that being said, support this show.
Right. And as our headline states, Trump supporters under attack. And we're not talking in one way. We're talking about digitally we're being attacked. We're being suppressed. We're not able to say what we want on Facebook. We can't say, and I'm not just saying us, I'm saying everybody. You can't talk about anything that Joe Biden's doing. And then over the weekend, the Jewish community was attacked, I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Out in New York City, apparently there were some Jewish, I guess, MAGA voters, which, I mean, they're young. I mean, why not? I understand go against the old guard, the Jewish old guard. But they were definitely attacked over the weekend in New York City. If we got that clip, Mr. Producer, right? I don't know why that music's in the background, but
it's because that's Trump's song that he plays at all of his rallies, and they were having like a little Trump kind of rally going on there.
All right.
So I'm assuming that's why they were playing that. But the issue I have with this is not America. This is not the America that I recognize. This is not what New York City should be looking like 2 weeks, before an election, or 2 months before Christmas. This is not what New York City should be looking like. And shame on Bill de Blasio. Shame on Como. They're gonna burn in hell for what they're putting the city through, and they should be out there stopping Antifa. or whoever this is doing it, you can't just go and attack people for who they're supporting. And that's blatantly what it is now. It's not
Right.
even protest anymore. It's just, oh, we got away with rioting. I bet we can get away with attacking Trump supporters. Let's throw some Molotov cocktails over top of a bridge and see if they'll hit one. That's not okay. When did we become so okay with this?
Right. And you're talking about the parade where people all across the country this past weekend, there were all kinds of Trump parades here around the loop of 275 in Cincinnati. It's about 60 miles long. It stretches through Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. It was hours long. It had the 3-lane freeways on both sides locked up all the way to the 60-mile loop. It was absolutely amazing. In New York City, you had a parade of sorts, and you had, nonetheless, I mean, some just real morons, some idiots throwing rocks off the overpass at cars driving by. You talk about trying to kill somebody. That should be charged for attempted murder.
You know, and I think about this more and more. And what bothers me the most is Biden and Harris say that they're not against, or that they're against rioting, and that they want peace. And that's why they want Trump out of there, because then we'll become more peaceful in the world. Well, the weird thing is, if Trump gets in, they're already threatening that there's going to be huge riots and that their people are going to take to the streets. You can't tell me Biden and Harris don't want that, because they do. If they don't win, you know they're going to be encouraging it so they can say, see, told you so. Look what happens. He got back in and now there's big riots. They're against everything that America stands for. How this race is even close, I can't even grasp it. I really can't.
If it is truly close.
If
like
it's
the
truly
polls are
close,
saying.
if it's truly close, America has really, really messed up with their values.
Well, now that you mention that, today, I normally go around in my day job and I do home inspections and blueprinting for new construction and renovations and whatnot. And today, apparently, the guy on the east side of Cincinnati was sick because they sent me to the east side this morning. And I still had my Trump and American flag on the back of my truck from the parade. And this is where I was at today. Yeah. That's parked out in front of a giant yellow house with a big sign that says Black Lives Matter, as I'm parked with the Trump-Pence flag.
Oh, boy.
The east side of Cincinnati is extremely weird. It's like mom jean wearing, soy latte drinking, Volvo driving, yuppies or wannabes.
Right.
And they're all white, they're all rich, and they have signs that say Black Lives Matter in their front yard out of some kind of white guilt. That's the west side. I didn't see a single Trump sign. You come to the west side. Well, that's the east side. Come to the west side, and it's Trump signs all day long. It's soccer moms and Catholic churches and festivals. The city of Cincinnati is completely split.
The interesting part is, though, probably back in 2016, if you would have went to the west side, you wouldn't have seen a lot of Hillary signs, because they thought they had it on lock. They really believed that there was no way Trump was going to win. The media had them brainwashed that there wasn't even a 1% chance that Trump was going to win. So all of them kind of got lazy and said, I don't need to put out Hillary signs because we know she's got it. There's no way Donald Trump's going to win. And now I think this time around, they saw that. They remember how it felt when they realized that Trump won. So now all of them are just putting out Joe signs. So we see a lot of people putting out Biden signs. You may or may not. I know I see it in my area, but it's the same people that voted for Hillary in 2016. I can't imagine that he just somehow magically got this new number of voters out of nowhere, especially with what he's been saying. I mean, let's talk about some things that he said over the weekend. Do you have the video where he actually calls Trump George Washington or George W. Bush?
I mean, saw that. I thought, was he channeling Bush? I'm not sure if it was Bush or Washington.
And you should, I don't know who he was talking about, but Jill was like,
and for those of you out
cringing.
Right. For those of you out there voting Democrat. Oh, and by the way, the #1 trending Google search this past weekend, can I change my vote?
Yeah.
What kind of country we're going to be? 4 more years of George, he's going to find ourselves in a position where if Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world.
4 more years of George.
What are we?
He's running for the president of the United States, Brian.
He has called, his campaign has called a lid on the rest of his campaign. But we got 8 days left. Next Tuesday, not tomorrow, a week from Tuesday, a week from tomorrow is election day. And the candidate running for the Democrat Party, the second largest party, the first largest party, whatever you want to call it, has called it quits. Just out of sheer karma, you should friggin' lose just because of karma. Well, you called it in 9 days early.
It's a middle finger to your fans. It's a middle finger to your voters to just go call a lid 8 days out. It also shows that they don't want him to say anything stupid because he already ruined it with Pennsylvania with the fracking, with the oil issue, with saying George W. Bush or George Washington is running against him. They're keeping him in the basement for a reason. And the thing is, aren't you supposed to run a campaign like you're behind? I was always told you get out there and you run your campaign as if you're 10, 20, 30 points behind. Up until election day, run that campaign till the wheels fall off. How does this make any sense?
Take a page out of Donald Trump's book. The guy is going sheer madman. I mean, he's doing 5 campaign rallies in 3 days, and then all of a sudden decided, hey, gee whiz, I'm going to stop in New Hampshire. Hey, gee whiz, on the way there, let's stop in Maine. I'm not kidding.
Unsuspectingly, he went to Maine, and Maine didn't even know he was really going to be there. It was like a few hours' notice. The crowd that showed up for him was just unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. And I did a comparison. Remember when Obama was talking last week? Audience, do you remember when Obama was talking last week? And he had his bullhorn there, and he was talking, and there were just like 4 people around him. Well, yeah, bring it back to Maine. Maine was given like 2-hour notice. Thousands of people with Trump, and Trump just had a bullhorn. But it was a great comparison to see the difference between Obama's world and Trump's world. And I really am concerned with the pollsters, and here's why. Frank, you know who Frank is, right? Frank
Luntz.
Yeah.
Oh, Frank.
Yeah, who
said guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
If I wasn't clear enough, Hillary will win today, election day. Yeah.
Okay, so now he's out there and he's looking all sad, like, if I get this wrong, I'm not going to have a job.
No!
Right? And then in the same breath, he says, Joe Biden's still leading in the polls, though. Oh my gosh, Frank, get out of your little bubble that you've been in for, I don't know, 36 years. The thing is, everything has changed. Donald Trump is a phenomenon that you can't grasp onto. Another thing that has changed is people are more on social media now than they ever were before. And they also understand that the media really is bad and that the social media platforms are also against them. So when they start to talk amongst each other, because now we can, from here to Texas to Pennsylvania to Ohio, we can all talk. Pollsters are calling them and they're lying to them. I see it all the time on Facebook. My friends saying, pollster just called me and I told him I was voting Joe. Haha, fooled them. If the pollsters don't start to understand how a Trump supporter thinks, because we really feel like it's us against them.
Right.
Once they realize that, they would actually be able to get inside a little bit deeper and understand that Trump is probably up in the polls. But it's like his mind won't allow him to wrap himself around that to make him understand that. Does that make any sense at all?
Oh, Frank. Yeah. Frank can't get out of his own way. He can't see for what's real. I mean, truly cannot.
And I mean, I'm not trying to cut on him. It's just he's the only one that I can give an example of.
No, go ahead and cut on him. He deserves every bit of it. No, he lied like a SOB last time around. And you think you're going to get it this time? And you think we're going to believe you this time? No, I'm sorry, Frank. That ship is gone and sailed. But as you were saying, the phenomenon that is Trump and the uniqueness of it, I believe, is because he's one of us. It's because it's like he said, they're not after me. They're actually after you. Mm-hmm. I just happen to be in the way. And that's the phenomenon that Donald Trump is standing in the way of all the wretched media, all the wretched Democrats, the wretched Republicans, the lying Frank Luntzes of the world. Lou Dobbs came out with a video this weekend blasting all over Lindsey Graham.
Right.
Why not? He deserves it.
He does.
Mitch McConnell's in a fight for his life. He's in Kentucky running for the Senate. And I'm getting commercials in Cincinnati trying to prop up Mitch McConnell. And Mitch, you got to fight for your life because you're running against a young military, I believe a former Marine woman who is extremely articulate. She spoke about pro-life. She spoke about all these conservative values in her commercial. I got nervous, looked into her. She's a hardcore liberal lying about it. That's why you lose.
Well, and see, my biggest concern is whenever it comes to what we're getting in the polls, I'm starting to get a lot of people reaching out to me, DMing me saying, hey, I'm worried. Look at these polls. What exactly is going on? And I keep reminding them about 2016. Don't get tricked up in that. Take a look at the rallies that you're seeing Trump has. Drive around your neighborhood, look at the signs, talk to your people. He's getting the votes that he needs. It's just the only thing I was concerned about was the college kids' votes from 18 to 21, where they were at, because we know a lot of them are for Joe. And it's starting to come out that 1.6 million people from the ages of 18 to 21 voted. We don't know.
Who reported that?
I don't know. It's in there. I sent it to you. You have it.
Oh, okay.
But it was reported by it was a proof. It was proven. So we do know that was proven that 1.6 million new voters between the age of 18 and 21 did vote. It's just, who are they voting for? 30% of them marched either in a BLM rally or went as activists and rioted. So that concerns me a little bit. I just don't know if you can beat the Trump voters, which I don't think you can. So I do think that it will be a win for Trump.
I'm getting a lot of the youth here where I live are excited. I mean, I see these young kids driving around these beat up cars like it's their first car. They scrape 2 nickels together to buy, and they got Trump bumper stickers. They got Trump flags. Again, if the youth vote is out there voting, do not take that, folks. Do not take that as a guaranteed lock for Biden. We saw the green-haired, purple-haired, blue-haired girl that her video went viral that started singing and screaming, "Don't make me vote for Joe Biden." And that's truly true. You've got another white, old man who's been in politics for 47 years. He's barely coherent. And now we got his staff is apologizing for his 60-minute interview.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing? And now he's got a lid 9 days out.
Yeah, now he has a lid. He messed up with his tax plan. I think he said about college rates being lower or something, and his campaign's like, no, he messed up with that. Joe's gaffes this week were terrible. In fact, I think it's starting to rub off on Kamala. Do you have the video where she actually asks where she's at? I went over the top with this to the point where it makes me angry. I'm not sure if the
what I will do, and I promise you this, and this is what Joe wants me to do. This was part of our deal. I will always share with him my lived experience as it relates to any issue that we confront. And I promised Joe that I will give him that perspective and always be honest with him.
And is that a socialist or progressive perspective?
No. No, it is the perspective of a woman who grew up a black child in America, who was also a prosecutor, who also has a mother who arrived here at the age of 19 from India, who also, likes hip hop. Like, what do you want to know?
What the hell was that?
That's her cover when she's lying. When she's lying, she crackles.
She cackles, and then her voice gets shaky. Notice right before that, her voice wasn't as shaky. As soon as she starts shaking, she knows she's going into the faking. I call it the faking shaking. When she starts shaking, you know she's going to be faking. And that's exactly what she did. She starts I call her Hyena Harris because she laughs like a hyena. And I said last night on Twitter, it kind of reminds me of Lion King. Do you remember when Scar took over on the Lion King? Yeah, he ran like the entire pride. And he ruined it, and all the hyenas came and attacked everything. That's what it reminds me of, her and Joe, if they take over. Ruin everything. So, yeah, she's a fake and shaken is what I call her. But she also said over the weekend, she was getting ready to come out on stage. She's all pumped up, and she says to the guy behind her, "Where am I?" He says, "Cleveland." She goes, "Okay, hello, Cleveland." That's offensive. You ask Trump any given second where Trump is, and he knows where he is. And he's in Allentown today. He's in Altoona, Pennsylvania today. You can't even figure out where he is, but he knows where he is.
Yeah,
But
no,
he knows where he is because he cares about this country. And I guarantee you, he knows a little bit about every single place that he's going to. She doesn't even realize where she's going. That's offensive. And that tells you they don't care. They do not care about this country.
right. He is a builder of buildings. He is a real estate mogul who lost it all and then came back to get it all back. That's a true leader. And like what he talks about Cincinnati, and he's got a very affectionate relationship with Cincinnati because apparently this was the city where he did his first big deal, and it was wildly successful. And then little things like that throughout this country, wherever he goes, whether he's out in California, and I want to say Southern California, but maybe the northern half, like Torrance area. Donald Trump has a golf course out there. There's just all different bits and pieces around this country that he's been a part of building something or has built something and has been successful for as an American, for the American. I mean, you just can't deny that kind of thing. And you've got these politicians that have been up there their entire lives that do nothing but lie, cheat, and steal in order to get reelected. But that's their job. Their job is to lie, cheat, and steal in order to keep their position. And I'm not railing on just Democrats. Again, I'm talking about Republicans as well that are lifers.
So I want to talk. I want to bring up something that our audience probably doesn't have a clue about, but I do because I have family members that received this email. Okay, so if you're in the audience, pay attention to what I'm about to share with you. Even share the show if you can, because this is important. In fact, out of everything that I have seen go on in this election so far, this has probably made me the most angry. Okay, so audience, if you're listening, share and pay close attention to what I'm about to say. I don't know how many people, but I know it was probably over 10,000, maybe 20,000 people working, just minding their own business, not worrying about the election, received this in their email box at their job from the company. Have you guys heard of this? Expensify. And it's from, I guess, the CEO or the owner, David Barrett of Expensify. It's not a conspiracy theory, so this is real. I'm reading this email. This is coming from the owner of Expensify. I don't know, but I know you don't want to hear this from me, and I guarantee that I don't want to say it, but we're facing an unprecedented attack on foundations of democracy itself. And if you're a U.S. citizen, anything less than a vote for Biden is a vote against democracy.
Okay, democracy, technically we don't live in that. We live in a representative democracy, but
okay.
I digress.
So he sent this out. I'm not done yet, though. He says, that's right. I'm saying it. A vote for Trump, a vote for third-party candidate, or simply not voting at all, they're all the same. And they all mean I care more about my favorite issue than democracy. I believe Trump winning more is more important than democracy. I am comfortably standing aside and allowing democracy to be methodically dismantled in plain sight. Then he went on to say, he has all these questions. Why do you care so much about democracy? What gives you the right to tell me what to do? He's answering them for you. But you're a company. Should you remain neutral? He says, no, we're in a civil war. Do you think you're being exaggerated a bit? I wish I was. I wish I wasn't sending this email, but I have to. Can you believe that he sent that out? I will tell you, he received a lot of backlash. A lot of people were angry that he sent that out to a lot of Trump supporters that work and use Expensify.
Okay, so
terrible email.
This is a leftist trying to play on emotions and ideologies. And again, democracy is a system of government by the whole population or all of eligible members of the state, typically through elected representatives. We live in a representative democracy where we elect officials to go to Capitol Hill to represent us. And we adhere to the Constitution, First, Second, Third, Fourth, Fifth Amendment. I mean, that's under attack by y'all. That's under attack by socialism, by communism, by your party that's been hijacked, the Democrat Party. A vote for Joe Biden is a vote for AOC and the squad. A vote for Joe Biden is a vote for the old guard that continues to scream and yell at us. What about the children? if you don't elect me, the infrastructure. We've got an infrastructure. We've got to save the schools. We've got to save the unions. We've got to save GM. We've got to save Christ. That's what
They're not
voting
saving
for.
anything. They're not saving anything.
They save their jobs.
Yeah. Well, so today Trump's speaking at 3 different Pennsylvania rallies today. Again, you said that Biden has pretty much called a lid on it. I think the only thing he has on his schedule is somewhere he's doing something in Georgia tomorrow, and then Kamala's going to Texas for a moment, I think on Friday. And then that's it, you guys. I mean, he's done.
Right. Yeah,
This is it.
I was told that there was going to be no more speaking for Joe. So if he does show up to an event, okay, hurrah. This by Rasmussen. Apparently, Donald Trump has taken the lead over Joe in the Rasmussen poll daily. 4-point swing in 1 week. For those of you who already voted, I hope you voted the right way. I hope you voted for America first.
Amanda Gilliam says this is going to be a heck of a week. If you can put up some comments. Yeah, I think it is going to be a heck of a week. I think that it's important to just stay focused on what we have to and make sure you get out election day. I know that the polls in Florida are showing, I think, 300,000 votes down that haven't come out for Republicans. So the Democrats are leading by like 300,000 votes down in Florida. But that's just because Republicans vote on election day. So I think that that's a positive thing, though, that we are seeing that it's only that far down in consideration that we don't even come out until election day. And just remember this, everybody in the audience, listen to this. No incumbent has lost when receiving 75% or more of their party's primary vote. Less than 75%, and the incumbent enters the danger zone. Ready? George W. Bush, 73%. Carter, 51. Ford, 53. Hoover, 36. Taft, 35. Trump, you guys want to know what Trump is? 94%.
Right.
94% of his party is supporting him. That means the primaries predicted the winner 18 out of 18 times. That means Trump's the winner.
When you have enthusiasm like he does, when a candidate, I don't care who it is, it could be Adolf Hitler. He had enthusiasm that was through the roof, and he did what he did. There is zero enthusiasm for Joe Biden. I'm sorry. Nobody wants to see them drag this old, wretched hag across any finish line.
Which one are you talking about?
Either one of them, but nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see. America is one of those countries that roots for the underdog. America is one of those countries that loves to see good competition and loves to see the right one win. That's what America is. America doesn't like this cheat. America doesn't like to see people win on a cheat.
And we can talk until we're blue in the face and tell you, well, this is why Trump's going to win. But I mean, if you want to break it down, let's break it down. Suburban women, who are they and what do they want? What do they want? They want safety.
Yeah.
Right? They're a lot of their husbands are cops. They're police officers. What else does suburban women want? They want their children to get the heck back into school. Right? So let's ask, what candidate gives safety, good job, paying jobs for police, and schools back in session? What candidate? It's Trump all the way, right?
Right. We've already seen it. Absolutely.
Okay. So we can't listen to the news when it comes to what they're telling us that suburban women are taking the lead with Joe Biden. We can't believe that.
Right.
There's no way.
And the news that's coming out this past week, I know you guys are putting in the comment section below. And I know a lot of Republicans, that elected officials, have read through the Biden laptop. They've seen the information. They know the information. Biden's ex-partner has verified the information. FBI was sitting on it for a couple of months, didn't want it to come out. I understand, and I know what you're talking about. I know a lot of this stuff that's out there is breaking, is disgusting, is disturbing. The pictures are real, the credit cards, all that stuff. I know what you're saying. However, at this point in time, that's red meat for us, for Trump supporters. It's just red meat for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough to present to a current Joe Biden supporter and say, look at what your candidate's been doing overseas. Oh, and by the way, Vladimir Putin confirmed he saw it all. they was making good money over there. You got to flip to Trump.
Well,
that ain't gonna happen.
If the media would have handled this like they did the Russian hoax, Joe would be 6 feet under. Honestly, I'm just saying in the polls, not dead, in the polls, he would be gone if the media would have handled it like the Russian hoax, which we found out that obviously the Russian hoax was exactly what it was, a hoax. But the media is not going to cover it like that. So unfortunately, it's being suppressed. So we can't get out any information whatsoever. So like you said, the undecided voters, they're not really interested in if Hunter was smoking crack, or if, Joe has ties with this. I mean, look, when this comes out and then I see somebody arrested, yeah, that's the important part. I haven't seen that yet. So what we need to focus on is talking about, not we, I'm just saying America needs to focus on what Trump has done, what Joe hasn't done, and what Joe is threatening to do versus what Trump is promising to do. And those are the issues that I think undecided voters are looking at. And quite frankly, we're 8 days out. Who in the world is undecided at this point?
I don't know. If you're on the fence and you can't figure out what's real, you got a misconception of a concept here. What it is it is America first in the world, America first, America superiority, America winning in jobs, America safety, bringing the troops home, all the good things that the world is, all these politicians have promised. Donald Trump making peace in the Middle East. We've got a clip to play here in a little bit with Jared and more peace in the Middle East. And you're telling me that you're undecided? You don't have to like Trump. You can absolutely despise him. Orange man bad.
But love America. If you don't like Trump, that's fine. But love America and vote Trump because Joe is just unsafe. And it just came out that Hillary Clinton said it makes her sick to her stomach over possible second Trump term. Under no situation should a political figure say that about a president of the United States. Keep that to yourself. If you want to stay political, that's fine. Say, hey, it worries me if Trump would get in again. But to say it makes you sick to your stomach, she's unhinged. She really is.
I'm surprised she's made it this far with her health being as bad as it is. But
I don't know.
I digress. So again, as we were talking about peace in the Middle East, we've got more of that. Got a clip of Jared speaking about that this past weekend.
Right. So on Friday, we announced a historic peace agreement between Israel and Sudan, and that is very significant. That's the third peace agreement that we've been able to announce in the last couple of months. I will say some people be in Washington for 30, 40 years. They're never able to work on a single foreign transaction. We've now achieved 3 peace deals. And I said on Friday, peace deals are much harder than President Trump is making them look at this point. We were able to work very closely with Sudan. Sudan was in a state of war with Israel. And the significance of this agreement I can't overstate enough. In 1967, after the Six-Day War, the Arab League met in Sudan, and that's where they had the famous edict of the 3 no's. No peace, no recognition, no negotiations. And obviously, on Friday, we announced the 3 yeses, the third peace deal. And so I think that this really is a great breakthrough for the region, and I do think you're going to continue to see progress. And I'll just say again, people have been very critical of the president over the last 3 years for whatever he does, even for the fact that he'll have 2 scoops of ice cream instead of 1 scoop of ice cream. But the reality is he's taken a different approach on how to deal with Washington. He took a different approach in the Middle East, and he's put up results. And again, you can't argue with the results that he's achieved. And again, this historic peace deal is something that will make the world safer and make America safer. It allows us to bring our troops home and have less threats for radical Islamic terror and other threats to our shores.
Yeah. And it's interesting that he brought that up because I want to talk about radical Islamic terrorism, okay?
Oh, I thought you meant the 2 scoops.
No. The Islamic terrorism, that we did not talk about Homeland Security or our security here as a nation through the debates, which I feel like was a very important topic. And it's being overlooked and underrated because if you take a look at the last 4 years with Trump, we haven't had any domestic, knock on wood, radical Islam terrorists in the country here.
Wasn't it like almost once a month we were having some kind of
with Obama in? Yeah.
Bombings, killings, threats.
Right. And before Trump got in office, I had said the 2 biggest concerns that I had was a bioterrorist attack where they would send over some type of virus. And my other concern was radical terrorism right here. because that you can really mess some stuff up with that. And I'm actually shocked that we haven't seen anything bigger. Thank God for Donald Trump for getting in, because Obama was kind of just letting these things go. And he was down somewhere dancing with somebody whenever there was a terrorist attack up here. He was at another country doing the cha-cha with somebody. And I find that alarming. And now we realize, oh, okay, well, he's kind of on their side, which concerns me. But now we see that Trump has stopped that, defeated ISIS. This is important, and that's underrated. And we need to be so thankful that we can walk out of our house and not be afraid of being blown up by some radical terrorist. Trump has stopped that.
Right. Generals were telling us that it was going to take a decade to eradicate ISIS, as John McCain, Barack Hussein Obama, and Hillary Clinton, the three founding fathers of ISIS, had put it together. Donald Trump took the cuffs off the generals and said, do whatever it takes, decimate this terrorist organization, and do it ASAP. And they did it with the likes that we'd never ever seen before. 18-year war in Afghanistan. What in the hell are we doing? Trillions and trillions and trillions of American dollars being drained into the desert. Who's getting all that money? Who's stealing all that from America? It's the politicians that you elect that are stealing that. And Donald Trump said, no more will you steal from the people. No more are we going to do these endless wars. We're going to stop this and stop it now. And that's the President of the United States' number one job, is to protect America and the American citizens. And what, he's got 2 Nobel nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize.
3. He's 3 now.
3. Does it got 3?
Yeah. I think he has 3. So that's 4 then, technically speaking.
Okay. And hold on. For those of you who are angry and hate and got this resentment, it's not Trump that you hate. It's not the goodness and all those other things out there that we're doing that you hate. There's something going on more sinister in your own personal life, that you've got all this angst and this resentment, and you're projecting it out on
because they got tricked.
Team.
They got tricked in 2016 because they thought Hillary was going to win, and they're ticked off and they're angry and they can't stand it that Trump actually won. They were bamboozled, and now they're trying to riot and burn down cities because of it. And we're seeing their true colors. I heard a story over the weekend about a guy who went golfing with his buddies and then went back to his house, had a couple drinks, took off his Trump hat. The Biden supporter did, made the other guy take off his Trump hat, threw it in the fire and burnt it. Now, I mean, that's just, it's so unhinged to see that. And you can just tell when whoever Hollywood supports, that's who you need to go opposite of. That's how I've always been with everything. Nothing good ever comes out of Hollywood, ever.
I don't have my Trump hat down here. Dag nabbit.
I have it somewhere.
The kids got it.
But you know what I really loved? Now let's try to get happy. Let's try to have some fun. You know what I really loved over the weekend? Did you see Biden in Pennsylvania and all the Trump supporters came out and drowned him with the horns beeping? Yeah. Loved it.
You can't.
He called them chumps.
You just.
Sorry, we have enthusiasm. If that was his side doing that to Trump, the news have been all over it saying how awesome it was. But don't cut on our side just because we have enthusiasm.
So now that you say that, I got a little video clip. Over the weekend, the rally, the parade around Cincinnati, and as I was heading home on a side street, there was a car probably about 300 or 400 yards up in front of me, pretty far ahead. And I saw, had their hands stuck out the window up in the air with a middle finger.
I love this video.
This is really far away. And I'm just like, come on.
I love this video.
Is that for me?
It was for you.
And the closer I got, so I this is my first one, guys. I'm usually not quick with the video because I'm a Gen Xer, and it's just, this is how we are. I'm starting to try to get the program. But this was me over the weekend, and this shows how unhinged and how angry you guys are at winning and being on the right, successful team. He's your president. He's your president.
Wow. They're crazy. They've lost their mind. That's what they are. That's really what their logo should be. Just a giant middle finger, because that's all they try to do to America.
Right.
That's what their logo should be. You know how it says Joe Biden with 3 red lines? It should just be 3 middle fingers.
Right. Just 3 of them, right there, right down the middle.
3 middle fingers.
We are having, and here's I want to make a point to those of you who aren't sure. If you're a Democrat out there, or if you're a Republican out there, and you're like, I know I'm on the right side. I just feel it, but I can't articulate it. Let me articulate why we are on the right side. We're on the right side because we're enjoying life. We're having fun, and we're educating each other. At the same time, we're watching our leader, the guy of our party, having fun, enjoying life, and making things happen that are for the good for the citizenry. Now, don't listen to the MSNBCs and the CNNs and the ABCs and CBSs out there who are screaming Russian disinformation.
Oh, give me a break. I'm so sick and tired of hearing it.
All this nonsense. Those are non sequiturs. Those are just words to confuse you. And that's what they want, is confusion. On our side, there is no confusion. None of us are confused about what Donald Trump has done and what Donald Trump's gonna do.
Right. And I will tell you, if you're looking for a sign who to vote for, the nuns at the Trump rally says it all. When you have nuns supporting you, and I have never seen, I don't care, go back the whole way to JFK, I've never seen nuns come out for a rally before. They normally make their mind up and stay out of it. The nuns have spoken.
Not only the nuns have spoken, I mentioned this and I have to mention it again. I helped support Donald Trump 2015, 2016 with the rallies when he came to Cincinnati. I'm part of the organization, part of the RNC, the GOP, there to help, the volunteer, part of the whole thing. This was the first and only year I had ever witnessed the Amish in a huge swath. I mean, a gigantic
section. Oh, yeah, Amish are big time for Trump.
Of Amish came to the rally, and they sat way off by themselves in a huge section by themselves. But
I'll tell you a story. My aunt had asked them why they were voting Trump. She was with them for some reason. I can't remember why. And he said, why are you voting Trump? This was back in 2016. And the Amish man said, because he had a billboard up that said, "Make America Great Again." And we want to make America great again. That's what they said. They love America. They love God.
Let me ask you out there that undecided or confused. Do you not want America to be great? Do you not want America to be number one in the world?
Joe doesn't. He wants it to be China.
Correct. We know what he's doing. We know that he's been a 47 career politician. We know it. We know it. The facts are there. We know what Hillary Clinton did. The facts are there. We know what Mitch McConnell's doing. Mitch McConnell, I hope you win as a Senate Majority Leader, but damn it, man.
And if you want to have holidays this year, you want to have Christmas this year, good luck trying to have it with Joe. Mandatory mask mandate, shutting down the whole country again. You won't be seeing Christmas this year. I can promise you that. In fact, the flu cases are down 98% across the globe. I wonder what that is. It doesn't happen. It's because they're counting them as corona.
You've got 99% survival rate. God bless it, y'all. The enemy of the people is the media. They're not talking about everything that we wish they'd talk about. Again, Leah, you said it best. If they'd have reported on this fiasco with Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and the connections,
Joe would be gone. Done. He'd be done.
Stick a fork in it. In the correlations and the relationships that have been out, we've known it. Peter Schweitzer's book, Empires, has been out for 2.5 years. You could have read about Biden back then, but nobody wanted to talk about it. This is your president right here, Donald Trump, and this is why we support this man.
Right. Absolutely. And somebody in the audience said,
The campaign strategy seems to be to call Biden a criminal. Why is that?
He is a criminal. He's a criminal. He got caught. Read his laptop. And you know who's a criminal? You're a criminal for not reporting it. You are a criminal for not reporting it. Let me tell you something. Joe Biden is a criminal, and he's been a criminal for a long time. And you're a criminal in the media for not reporting it. Good luck, everybody. Have a good time. Have a good time.
Yeah.
Little delay reaction. Sorry about that, but I mean, they got to do their job. Why do you think I wear Project Veritas? Because they're doing the job that the media's supposed to be doing. We're reporting on the fact that they are fake news.
Right. And it's just, it's sad. It really is. And unfortunately, it's not going to change. I think that if Trump gets back in, he's going to make a big move with these media companies. He really is. But we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Gloria said, "Did you all see the White House for Halloween?" Yes, I got to see the little boy and girl dressed up as Melania and Trump. It was so cute. Loved it. And also, people are asking, "Do you have that?" I sent you the video of the Kamala video where she's trick or treating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people were asking about seeing that too. That's pretty funny. And then we'll do some questions and answers here if you have that video.
This went pretty viral. And for those of you out there that want to be the first one to post this up, please don't. If you see somebody that's posted it, just like it and
wait,
reshare.
what are you showing? Maybe we're talking about two different things. I'm talking about
it's the Halloween one. People that I know that are celebs actually ripped it down and then reposted it as if it was their own. Come on, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just hit like and retweet. That's all.
Trick or treat! What do we have here?
Spooky, creepy. It's creepy Uncle Joe.
Oh, it's funny. It's Joe.
Come on, man. Candy's for the kids.
Maybe he forgot.
Wait a minute. You look familiar. Who are you?
Are we gonna let her get away with this?
She took everything.
The scary thing is, I can't even laugh about that because it's so true.
Oh,
Kamala's running.
Yeah,
she will take everything. That's crazy. And they even put her witch cackle in. How beautiful was that?
The left has no sense of humor because of stuff like this. This is who they are. They're not funny. They're evil.
No, they're crazy. They're crazy. But you can jump on over and help us at patreon.com/WD show. Wayne will be back tomorrow. He's flying high in the sky right now, but he'll be back tomorrow with us. Again, go to patreon.com/WD show. And from there, you can pick, $10, $15, $20, $25, whatever it is that you want to do each month. You can customize it. Depending on how much money you have. So that works out. And then you can go and actually download our podcast. It's Wayne Dupree Podcast. So that way, whenever the Facebook or Twitter does end up shutting down or getting shut down, you'll still be able to watch us on the Wayne Dupree Podcast. All you got to do is just type that in. It's free. You can see your news, our live podcasts, previous podcasts, weather, and traffic. So that's all free for you. And here's our Patreons. We got some new ones. William, Melanie, Joni, Eleanor, Gemina, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And again, that's patreon.com/WD show. And to also go to our podcast and download that as well so you can watch us. What do you think, Brian?
Jason and Kathleen for being our centurions, our $100 a month Patreons, as well as, there we go, couple more. There you go.
Brown-Eyed Ash said, "Where is Wayne?" He went down to South Carolina. It was beautiful. I'm sure he'll tell us about it tomorrow. He went down there and did some campaigning for Trump. He's always busy trying to get Trump in. So he went down there over the weekend and got to do that. And now he'll be flying back and heading back home, and we'll all be back on tomorrow. So questions for us. We try to do this every day. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? Just some fun little facts. Or if you have any election questions for us now, we've got about 5 minutes. We take that from you. If you have any questions, you can just type them in, audience, and we can answer them for you. But this is going to be a big week. This is it. This is it. Aren't you so relieved that this is it?
No,
I can't take any more of it. You want more of this election now? I just want it to be over. I want it to be over. It's done. Get it over with.
This by Santos. I'm only Portuguese. I see President Trump from so many sources, and I
really
really like
Go
him.
Trump. I
Go
love that.
Trump.
I love that.
Vote
And
red, remove every Democrat.
That's cool too. That's cool too. Quentin wants to know, are we having an election night party? Yes, we'll actually be live on election night. We will be here. We're going to start early and we're going to run it the whole way through until we can't run it anymore. I know that North Carolina and Pennsylvania both have been, I think that they decided, well, I think it's going back to the Supreme Court, isn't it, Brian? With the voting issues. I know North Carolina just came out and said that.
Right. What's going to happen, and I apologize for not bringing this up, but Amy Coney Barrett is going to finish up the rest of the day. They're going to send her through. We got a 51-49 vote on her.
Oh, yeah, she's in.
It's going to be in. It's going to be through. Trump's going to be out of town doing the rallies. He doesn't need to be there for her swearing in ceremony. Roberts can handle that. Matter of fact, Vice President Mike Pence might show up for that. Other than that, Donald Trump, Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka, VP, everybody is going hog wild on rallies multiple times a day. They're coming back to Cincinnati. They hit Cincinnati like 3 or 4 different times in 2 weeks.
They're not going to stop. And the cookie place, did you hear about the cookie place in near Philadelphia, Bucks County, I think it is? They sell Donald Trump cookies and Biden cookies, and I think Trump's up by 5,000 cookies. And they predict the election the last time, so that's cool. Michelle Johnson, speaking of sweets, she wants to know what our favorite ice cream is. Mine's chocolate chip, and I like coconut yogurt, frozen yogurt. What do you like? You like Moose Tracks, don't you?
Extreme Moose Tracks. Yeah.
Ew, I forgot. Is today Hillary Clinton's birthday?
Why would I remember that?
Super gross. Well, here's why. Because I want to tell you something. They said that Hillary jinxed Kamala. Remember last time the election was going on, Hillary put out a tweet that said, "Happy birthday to the soon Madam President."
Yeah.
Well, she put out a quote that said, "Happy birthday, Kamala, the soon Madam Vice President." And everybody was like, "Oh, you just jinxed her. It's over."
Yeah, back in the day, she put that up of herself, a baby picture of her.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump and crew erased her and put Trump in, resent it back out. Said, yeah.
That's great. But I mean, what poetic justice that ACB gets confirmed on Clinton's birthday.
That's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. That's like spiritual. What do they call that when a higher power interferes with it? Yeah, that's what that is.
Yes.
Divine intervention.
Divine.
Isn't that?
Yes.
So, well, we're in the final countdown. We've got 8 days to go, right? 8 days before election time, right? Is it 8 days?
Right. 8 days today.
Okay.
So next Tuesday will be, I guess, the final day you could show up in person to vote. But I don't.
Ridiculous.
We'll find out how all that goes. And again, once Amy Coney Barrett gets in, a lawsuit needs to be filed. Then she can then review the Supreme Court justice's decision to allow voting forever.
Well, in Pennsylvania, there's a 3-day window that you can get your vote in after the election. And Somerset County in Pennsylvania just filed a lawsuit saying, nope, we don't want that. It was one of the representatives and 3 registered voters filed it, and it's on its way to D.C. So I'm thinking we might get a result on election night for Pennsylvania. Thank God.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Good Patreon of ours, James, says Florida Republicans are killing it. Still this morning, which is today, Monday, 8 days out, early voting in person, cutting into the D's lead at a rate of 50,000 or more a day. Last day of early voting is Sunday, November 1st. Looks like all the voting by mail may evaporate completely for the Democrats.
Right. And that's important that you brought that up, because remember, the Democrats mailed in their ballots. They're only 300,000 votes up. They're only 300,000 votes up in Florida right now.
No, I don't even think they're up anymore.
No, that was just today.
He's saying that the Republicans are already blowing them away in early voting.
Well, they are, but they're not. They're still up. They're still that might be, but they're still up a little bit more. I just read it, Brian. It's okay to not have them leading right now, because my point is, on election day, they are going to be there'll be a red wave, because the Democrats are pretty much already have come out, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think that you're going to see a lot of Democrats walking into the polls on Election Day.
Well, and even if they did, it is always historically known that the early vote is the Democrat vote.
Right.
I also want everybody just to rest assured. I know there's a lot of nonsense with the voting going on. Rest assured, last time around, remember when the Green Party started filing all kinds of injunctions for recounts on Trump and Clinton, and we found more votes for Trump. That was the recount. There's more votes for
more
Trump.
votes
that kept
for
coming
Trump.
in. Right. I've been asked this a lot, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not sweating this election at all. I'm not worried about it. I'm not
I
anxious.
like it that the Dems all went out right now. I love it that the Dems all went out right now, because then they feel like this fake sense of like security.
Right,
and then wait till Election Day. They're going to be crying in the streets again.
Here's the thing, though. I'm not anxious. I'm not nervous. I'm not worried. I know that we've got this. And when we look back in the past, we had to have 8 years of Barack Hussein Obama. We had to have that to get Donald Trump. The pain that was caused had to happen for us to be able to come out in droves and vote for Donald Trump. And 2-3 years after that, they went out and they started asking people, what do you think? What do you think? Yeah, I did. I made the right decision. I even know people that were nervous about it, but know now, there's without a doubt, they're voting Donald Trump. And then these past 2 years with Nancy Pelosi causing all this pain and angst, all the hate, all the pain, all the impeachment trial, all the crap, all of that had to happen for Donald Trump's reelection.
And Everson B., do not listen to him in the chat room. He says, I agree, no worries, Trump is winning, no need to vote. No, that's make him win by a landslide. You get out there and you vote, you get your friends to vote, and then you get your friends' friends to vote. And then you get your friends' to vote. You get out there and you vote.
Come on.
So make sure you're all out there voting. Yep, he'll be in Allentown today. He's going to be in Altoona, Pennsylvania today. He's getting into those suburbs and he's getting those votes. So what are your last thoughts, Brian?
My last thoughts was just that, is that go out and vote. I never said don't vote. I'm just saying that if you look throughout the past and the pain that it has caused it come to Americans has been on purpose to make you do something, make you get out and vote, make you choose a different course. And that's what America's chosen, is a different course, not the typical politicians. Your last thoughts?
My last thoughts are the reason why the pollsters can't get it right is because they don't understand America anymore. Let's call somebody and ask them how they feel, or let's get a test group of 15 people and ask them how they feel. That's not how America works anymore. We change our minds every 30 seconds. We want instant gratification. You can't keep up with it anymore. The information is moving too fast. And once these pollsters realize that human beings can't figure out elections anymore, then they'll realize that, the pollsters' job is gone. Things move too fast now.
And not only move too fast, but you never had our pulse to begin with. These pollsters were liars and cheats just to make it validate why Barack Obama won. To validate why we didn't want to vote for John McCain. I know why we didn't want to vote for him.
Yeah. So my last words are don't listen to the pollsters, because they're back in 1995 and we're in 2020. We're moving too fast for them. Trump voters move too fast. They think too fast. They coordinate too fast. Pollsters can't keep up. So don't listen to the polls. Listen to your instincts and look at the number of people coming out to the rallies.
Right.
Human beings don't lie. You can see it when their bodies are there at the rallies, how many people there are. You can't fake that.
We welcome you with open arms to a fun, peace-loving America and the winning side. Just jump on over. The water's warm.
There you go.
No question about it. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow at noon.
Love you, audience.
I'm a longtime Democrat, born and raised. But when you listen to both these parties talk, I have made up my mind. I am definitely going to go for, Donald Trump.
I come from a long line of Democrats, but I have to say I switched parties.
I used to be a Democrat. I am now Republican, voting Republican all the way.
Not longer a Democrat. They're communists. They're socialists.
Candidly, I was a Hillary voter. And so for me, I bought into a lot of stereotypes about him.
I'm a lifelong Democrat. I'm from Lorain, Ohio. I am definitely changing my vote to Republican.
I've been a registered Democrat for many years, and this is done.
I'm a Democrat. I'm from Minnesota, where all these riots.